Welcome, friends, to the Beaver Dam, and welcome to your comprehensive guide on what not to do with your gems and what to do with your gems. These are a paid for currency and are vitally important, and so we're going to talk about it. But before we get started, if you want to get started in Raid Shadow Legends today, the best way to do it is with a content creator's link, and I've got a beautiful link right down below, or this QR code above. It'll get you Rector Draft as well as Ugo. I have repented. Yes, Ugo is amazing, I know, and both these characters are going to get you an amazing start into Raid Shadow Legends today. But let's get back to our gem discussion. Now, we have three major ways of spending your gems and a whole lot of no-nos. Now, first things first, I want to just kind of go through the this gem shop right here. Basically, this is all a no. You might be sitting here and being like, oh, look, a whole bunch of silver. Don't do it. It's not worth it. You can get silver in a lot of other ways. You should be pushing towards brutal 12-3 as fast as you can in your campaign, and that should be what you're focusing on to get yourself some silver. Do not focus on this. This is not a good bang for your buck for gems. You're gonna get a limited amount of gems if you're not paying for them, and so when you use your gems, I want them to be the best that you can use them. So do not use them here. They are not worth it. I could see people purchasing things such as like a full energy and that type of stuff. I think a refresh on energy is warranted, but specifically the silver shards, potions, stuff like that, they're very iffy for me. Most are just not worth your time, so I would be very careful with this shop. Now for energy, you can spend it on energy, you really can, but like you get so much energy in the early game, and even in the mid game, I'm not seeing many people complaining about the energy that they have. I think this is a viable way to use your crystals. It's not one of our big three, but I think it's a viable way to use your crystals to get some refreshers, especially if you're in the midst of some kind of event that could really benefit your account. I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing to drop in on that energy, but the first thing that I'm going to say that you spend your gems on, and this is going to be a little different than what a lot of people say, but I think the first thing that you should do is whoever your campaign farmer is, for most of you it should be Kale. I hope you chose Kale. I hope you've been watching my videos, because Kale is phenomenal. I love Kale. He has gross AoEs and he has tons of poison built into his kit, and if you've been watching my content, you know that poison is key in the early game to getting really good scores in clan boss and all kinds of different areas in the game, because that percent damage is insane when they have a ton of health. So you don't want to be sleeping on Kale. He's going to be super nice in the early game. Now if you got one of the other ones, you got Gaelic or any of those, it's fine. Still level them up, still work on them. They are your campaign farmer, and they are much easier to push into than something like Sun Wukong, who you should have gotten for free with the promo code. But yeah, like, it's just because it's a rare champion, you're going to be able to book them up really easily and get their abilities all the way up. You're also going to be able to, just push them up very quickly. And so Kale, you're going to spend your crystals on getting his masteries. So masteries will give you small perks, but in each one, it's going to give you leading up to some really big helpful perks, to the point where you're decreasing skills cooldowns, meaning that he can AoE more often, he can poison more often, increasing his accuracy so his poison lands more often, increasing his crit rate so he deals more damage, all kinds of amazing stuff. And so these cost 800 crystals to do. So if I go over to any character that I don't have all the books for, you can go in and you can get all scrolls, and it'll be 800 of these gems. And so going for your campaign farmer, Getting the masteries is one of the best things that you can do, because your campaign farmer being leveled up means that you're getting 3 stars in every level of your campaign, because you can essentially solo it or put it with 2 people and beat it. And then on top of that, farming up your campaign farmer is going to allow you to put other random people with them to farm up the experience that you need. Once you get to that brutal 12-3 that we were talking about to farm silver, you can farm XP on that node, and tons of XP, and you just throw in Kale with any 3 other units that you any champions that you need to level up. Speaking of champions to level up, make sure you go take a look at that link down below. Look at the QR code above, whichever one's easiest to get you into Raid Shadow Legends. It's a damn good time, and you start with some amazing stuff, including the beautiful Rector Draft as well as Ugo, and both of these are essential legends. In fact, Ugo is rated a 4.5 stars, which is hard to find when you're starting out early. It's hard to find a champion that amazing, and you get them literally for free, so go check that out. But yes, going in masteries, I also will say as an addendum, your masteries for your first starting character is important. Masteries for other characters I wouldn't put above number 2, and we'll get to number 2 in just a moment, but I will say keeping an extra 800 gems lying around for whenever you get a really, really good new character, and you can just toss those masteries onto a new character, is actually really helpful. Like, I just unlocked a Venomage, and I've been loving Venomage's kit. Tons of poison, very helpful, helped me get the best score I've ever had at Clan Boss. I got this person champion thing. I got it last week, and I already have it at level 50, and I already have all of the masteries because I had an extra 800 gems lying around, and I was like, yes, this character's amazing, and I really want to bring them up. And so being able to have that in your account just lying around waiting for someone new coming in, I think is a great strategy to do. Now, I don't think it's as important as number 2. Number 2, where the second place where you should put your gems in the early game, is going to be your gem mine. Now, the reason I put this as number 2 and not number 1 is because this pays off in about 100 days. So if you're planning on playing Raid Shadow Legends for 100 days, you're enjoying the game, you really like the gameplay, and you're enjoying yourself, go throw this in first. I did it first, and then I did my campaign farmers mastery scrolls. I did it in that order because I knew I was going to be playing this game for more than 100 days. And so this is one of those ones that it's going to be slow going. You get crystals only ever so, or you get these gems only ever so often. And so you're going to have to collect them over time, but it pays off in 100 days and will continue to pay off throughout the entirety of your time playing Raid Shadow Legends. And, to be able to get paid for currency for free is always super, super nice. So I'm going to say number 2 is getting your gem mine up. I could see you swapping it to number 1 if you're someone who knows you're going to enjoy Raid, or this is your second account that you're starting up with my promo link, whatever it might be. I could see you doing this one first. It's what I did, but I'm going to put to second just because your campaign farmer is going to make you power trip a bit, and who doesn't love power tripping, and enjoy the game a bit more, and then you can cycle over to the gem mine next. Okay, and the final place, I think this one's a little iffy to me, but I do think it's not a bad place to use it. Besides, the whole getting refreshes on energy or, stuff like that to allow you to do more battles to maybe finish out an event. I think a good solid place to use them, especially if you're one of those people that only play a little bit each day. You're only playing, 10, 15 minutes each day, and you don't have the time to put in a ton of time into this game. I think upgrading your Guardian Ring is actually not a bad thing to do. This allows you to, add champions in here that you want to level up passively. This is going to take much longer in the long run than like just doing battles, of course, because, you have to wait quite a bit of time. But if you're, signing in for 5 minutes when you go and you have to go to the bathroom while you're at work, and you can just click the button and have him up a level, it's not a bad thing whatsoever. And so the overall XP here is not going to be anything insane, but especially if you're not playing the game like a whole ton, like I play the game for a solid solid 30 minutes to an hour each day. If you're not able to put that much time in, and this is just a little fun thing that you do when you're, taking a squad on company time, then yeah, this is a solid use of your gems to be able to get some of your characters up that, are those ones you're going to be feeding to other champions. So you don't have to worry about it as much, and you don't have to worry about if your campaign farmer isn't high enough to be able to solo those, brutal 12-3 and be able to allow you to upgrade your characters easily. So I think the Guardian Ring, it's an iffy one. I think it just depends on how you play Raid Shadow Legends. There's a million and one ways to play this game. You should always have passion projects going. You should always, be doing your own thing. And so if this is, if AFK farming, if it's something that would appeals to you really harshly, then yeah, I think this is a great idea. I haven't spent much on it. I prefer saving up for masteries on new characters that I get that I think are really important, because those masteries are such a pain to get for free-to-play players. And so those masteries take precedence for me, but I do think the Guardian Ring for a lot of you players is not a bad option to, get more slots where you can level up characters over time, so that way you can make sure your champions are food, not friends. Because, champions are friends. Food, not friends. Food's food. All champions are food. If you're hungry enough, all champions are food. Sorry to learn that, where I'm like sitting there looking at a character, I'm like, they're a 2.5 on Hell Hades, but like I don't have a home for them, and I could really use a 4-star of this new character I got that's like a 3.5 rating, like so I don't know, everything's food if you look at it long enough. But overall, those are the best 3 ways that you can use your gems. So number 1, get your campaign farmers masteries. Number 2, get your gem mine up. Your gem mine up is going to be super nice, but it does take a while to pay off itself. And then number 3, if you prefer the AFK farming, you don't have a ton of time to put in the game, Guardian Ring is going to be super, super helpful to you. And also keep in mind, having an extra 800 gems lying around for any new characters that you happen to get that you really want to take up quickly and really want to make them shine is never a bad thing, and is probably going to be a standard that I kind of try to stick to, is where I always have 800 gems for if I pull a legendary I really like, or someone that's very highly rated. So let me know down in the comments what your favorite thing to spend gems is on, and what your least favorite thing to spend gems on, because for me it's silver. I mean, you can see here I still haven't run out of silver, but like looking at those silver for gem deals, I'm just like, I can't justify it. I can't. I'll take my time. I can wait a couple days to re-artifact my character, Well, it's just painful. But let me know in the comments below. If you guys want to support this channel, consider subscribing. It helps me out, and we can have a damn good time here together. And a big shout out to Raid Shadow Legends for sponsoring this video, and go ahead and check out that link down below to get started today with 2 amazing epic champions. 1, Rector Wrath, you will get immediately, and she's going to help you be able to get through to your brutal 12-3. And then of course Ugo is just an amazing character in general, and I am starting to work on her myself because I've been sleeping on her a bit. I know I need to repent. I need to turn away from my evil ways. But thank you guys so much for watching, and thank you for giving a damn.